Okay, I have an OBIHai or whatever the hell it's called. It's a telephone adapter. It's a VoIP telephone adapter. Okay, OBIHAI, whatever it's called. And it's the 202 version. There's the 100, 110, and this is the 202, and they were very similar. 100, 110, and the 202. This is the OBI 202, and it's very similar. Telephone adapter. It's got phone 1, phone 2, USB, so that you can plug in Wi-Fi, USB, or Wi-Fi, a Bluetooth, or a flash drive. LAN, which you probably won't use because it's got a built-in router, so if you need a router, then you use the LAN, otherwise you don't really need it. Internet, that's to plug into your existing router or directly to the modem if you don't have a router, and it's 12 volts DC. Okay, so I'm going to take it apart while it's on. It's got these lights, power light, steady power light, internet, LAN, which is not plugged in, phone 1 and 2. So I'm going to take it out. There's these 4 soft feet here that you can take out, that's covering the screws. So there's 4 screws, and it's covered by these guys, which I took out already. Just got to peel it out with your nails. Okay. Pretty easy to take out. There's no sticker for the warranty thing there. There's no hidden screws anywhere. Just take out the top. And this has been on for you know, if it's on, it's never turned off. And so I'm going to feel the heat. You see, it's not very warm. So that's the inside of it. It's the inside of the device. Okay, and it's warm to the touch. That's probably the processor. Memory, voltage regulators, resistors. It doesn't seem very hot. I'm gonna check it out. 100 degrees. This guy here. It's the hottest. Just gonna check the hottest point. Hottest point is 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, 101 degrees Fahrenheit, highest temperature. So it runs very cool. Doesn't run hot. Doesn't heat up anything. Again, it's still on. There's nothing holding it down. This is what's inside. Bunch of resistors and diodes and transistors and capacitors, small capacitors. Okay, mounting holes and to put it back, it kind of hooks on here. Telephone adapter, and everything just kind of hooks on. Snap that together. So just make sure those screw holes align. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not sure what this is that's missing. It's got like what looks like an antenna. It's like a built-in antenna and something missing here. So it's like a chip that's probably for like Wi-Fi. Maybe a Wi-Fi version of this somewhere. Stick this back in. That's it. Now you would plug in a phone to get. You're going to need an IP address of the device, and you need to plug in a phone, and you type in ****.
Device configuration menu.
Push 1.
Basic network status. Your IP address is 10.0.2.12. Your DHCP is.
Okay. And so that's the IP you're gonna use. You're gonna write that down, and then by default it's not enabled. By default, the web server is not enabled, so you won't be able to control the device through that IP. So you have to enable it. Star again.
Configuration menu. Press the pound key at any time to return
push
to the
0
last
for advance
option, followed by the pound key.
And the option is 30. And then the pound key.
Option 30. Current value is enabled. Press
So I already
1,
enabled
2,
it, but it would have been disabled,
press
which
2,
you would just push
2,
1 to enable
value.
it.
Press 0,
And then
2. Repeat this
after
information.
that you push 1 again to save it, and then you just hang up, and then you're able to activate the device. You'll be able to operate the device through a web browser, which then you put it in, which for me it's 10.0.2.12, and then it will ask you for a username and password, which is admin, and the only changes you need to, if you, for example, I'm using a voip.ms website to for their servers. So I would need to edit here, service providers, profile A, and the only thing I changed was uncheck the default, and then put in my user ID of voip.ms website. Everything else is default, and then I go over to SIP. So service providers, ITSP, profile A, general, and then SIP, which for me I put in New York 2.voip.ms, but for you it will be whatever your town is. and I left the port default. See, it's not changed. Uncheck it to change it. VOIP again. And yeah, I didn't change any of that. And then voice services, voice services, SIP 1, SP1. I scroll down to SIP credentials, and I put in my user again and whatever password. And pretty much it. I don't think I changed anything else. And we just reboot the machine to activate. And also to check your voicemails, if you have trouble, you might need to make an adjustment. And I'll post this on the about below. So you go to for voicemail, if you put *97, you're gonna have trouble. It won't work. So you're gonna need to click General in Service Providers at TSP Profile A General. And you scroll down to digit map, and you'll put this code, which I will put below. You uncheck it to change it, and it'll be in this format: 1 and then the 3-digit area code, and then the rest of it. I think that's all I had changed. And also when you first set up your phone, you're gonna want to update the firmware. When you first pick up the phone, you're gonna type ****, and then it'll tell you that you got a firmware. So again, it's ****.
Device configuration menu. Press the pound key at any time to return to the last menu, or press the star key to exit. Main menu. Press 1 for basic network status. Press 2 for advanced network status. Press 3 to set DHCP. Press 4 to set IP address. Press 5 to set password. Press 6. Please wait. Software update not available.
Okay, so normally when you first boot up the device, when you first bought it and you open up the box and then you push the ****, and then you push number 6 to check for firmware, and after that's assuming you've connected the thing to the internet port and you're connected to the internet. So you will need the power and the RJ45 connected to the internet and plugged into your router, and then you dial the ****, and then you dial 6. It'll check for firmware, and it'll spend maybe like 5 minutes updating it, and then you'll reboot the device, and then you're ready to go. And you can update it. Actually, you can update it at any time, but it's best if you update it from the beginning. So and that's it. It's a nice little device. Remains cold. My telephone here, I modified it. I bought one of those cheap telephones and I modified it. As you can see. So yeah, it seems like a good device. It looks promising. I'll let you know if it fails in less than a year. One of the things you might want to disable auto firmware update. You can probably disable that. And it's by default disabled. TSP, you can disable that. And if you're not using OBI Talk, you might want to disable that too. And what else? What's this? Voice services, OBI Talk service, voice services, OBI service, and you probably want to disable some of that. Okay, right here. I think this was checked by default. You just uncheck it so it doesn't conflict with anything. And I think that's about it. So system management, auto provisioning, and you want to disable all that stuff, that firmware update, ITSP, OBI Talk if you're not using it.